Hello and welcome to the Impact Dynamics podcast.
What?
I'm Plushy.
And my name is Rusty. Andy, you were meant to talk then, but you're completely thrown.
Yeah, because I'm only getting...
Let's go.
Mash director, mate. Mash director.
Chemistry powder, bang.
Hope that's enough.
We need your vote.
Now we've caught up to where we are on the podcast.
All right, go on back.
Roll the outro. Well, hey guys, we have everyone here except Andy. Andy will be here in a few moments mentally.
Yeah.
He's
Hey, Andy.
He's just catching up. He's here, but he was distracted by a YouTube video and
Well, you see what the issue is. I had my right ear off, and that's the only speaker that works in these headphones. So I didn't hear the intro start.
yeah.
The real
fair
problem
enough.
is about 5 minutes ago you had a realisation that mental challenges are your real problem.
And we just thought we'd prove that to you.
Hasn't quite come to terms with it yet.
Yeah, it didn't click when Rusty was like, hello and welcome. I was like, what?
Did you not see him looking at Josh for a solid minute before?
Yeah.
Actually, he's just like, just push it.
All the cues of like, hey, we've been live for 5 minutes, ready to go.
And the
Yeah.
good news is Josh is back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, Josh.
We have a
That's
button
good
pusher.
news.
We
surprised
have
by
matching colours now at the moment.
I like the flashing colours more.
Andy's been banned
We
from doing
didn't.
the lights in the room. Wouldn't want the electrician doing anything to do with that.
No.
That's all right. Very good. Gents, you've been off to Nioka on
Yes.
the long drive. Well, we better check in on our scores briefly because it will not take long. I'll tell you this.
Oh, no.
So we'll come back to we'll do predictions at the end of the episode. But I thought we'd just get into the points quickly.
Just watch last week's episode and I think you'll be fine.
I like how you think we do these weekly.
Yeah.
It's cute. Well, Josh got 0 points because he wasn't here. Plushy,
Yay.
you went with Ash, Crispy, Blacker, and that was a 0 all round for you. And
two of those guys didn't show. So
Michael
Oh,
Blackburn
really?
came
Oh,
in the mix
bummer.
and so still didn't get it.
Yep, 3 of those people didn't show.
Andy, you went with Ash, Porno Guy, Blacker, and Joel.
Yep.
Zeros all round as well. So far, I'm the only one that scored a point this
did.
week and the only one to have scored a point every week I put a vote in.
Whoa.
Right.
Yeah. So I picked and guess the way I scored a point. Plushy.
Oh, rough.
Well done.
I'm glad I could help you beat me.
Yeah. Thanks. So Josh, you missed out on 2. So a little bit of admin. What we'll do is you've got you can miss out on 2 basically, and if you've been here for all of them or anything on those lines, your 2 lowest scores get.
I'm going to drop
out.
this one. Or last one.
I
I think I might
you
drop
will.
the last one, yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think you'll drop this one and potentially the first one. You were away for the first one. You didn't get anything in that one.
Right.
So currently the scores are Plushy on 6th. Sixth.
Oh.
Josh,
Okay.
not 6th. 6
Oh,
points.
right.
Josh on 7 points, and Andy and I tied on 8.
Ooh, watch out.
It is getting close.
Yep.
And Sean Lawson as well on 1 point from the one episode he was here for.
Yep.
Probably doing
Go,
better
Sean.
than me at
Well
this
done,
point.
Sean.
Well done, Sean.
Well done.
Good stuff. All right, gentlemen. Now you went and shot a brand new PRS match. First
did.
time it's been run.
Mhm.
Tell us, you wrote heaps of notes. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had plenty of time to write notes.
We did. It was
Yeah.
it was a nearly 17 hours in the car.
I think, yeah, pretty much 17 hours from
We-
go to woe.
We got the first impact about an hour and a half from home.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
We may have cleaned up a fox.
Mhm.
I-
Fox?
I used the term we
Yeah.
loosely. I was driving my car.
I was asleep.
Yeah, and he was asleep in the back.
Yeah.
I don't know what Noski was doing, and all I heard was ah, and as the fox sort of jumped out of the grass. It's mating season in South Australia. I don't know if it is everywhere else for foxes or what, but they do silly things.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this orange thing jump out of the bushes, and it sort of came behind the A pillar, and I was like, ow. And it hit the front of the. It was actually the wife's car, which makes it so much better. And hit the spoiler, and then all I saw was this orange furball going up into the trees. It got launched,
Launched it.
Yeah.
and I looked around at Noski. I'm like, what was that? And he's like, I think it was a fox. I'm like, well, given the fact that the car's still moving, let's go with fox, not Roo.
Yep.
We pulled over and hear lots of scraping noises. I'm like, oh, this is bad. And it turns out the front spoiler had just unclipped itself all the way along, was dragging on the ground. So we sort of put all that back together and we're like, was a bit annoyed, and then I was like, it could have been a kangaroo, and we could have been waiting for a tow truck right now, waiting to go back and get another car and, waste 6 or 7 hours before we do our 17-hour drive.
Okay, is this some foreshadowing?
Next year we're flying. That's what we learned. We're like, if you go to Newcastle, there is one direct flight per day from Adelaide to Newcastle.
Don't tell them the secret.
And then how you get there from that point is a mystery.
A mystery. Okay.
Yeah. So that's I think that's probably a better way to go. I think the car ride has its perks if you're sleeping. But it is a long time to be sitting down. You sort of get a bit stiff and sore afterwards.
Yeah, it was solidly cheap.
Yeah, it was. That
was.
is very good.
We used all of what did we use? I think about $300 worth of diesel to get there and back.
Yeah, wow.
Split across 3 people, which is that's kind of the attraction.
Yeah, right. That's
plus an insurance excess.
Plus, yes, you guys are saving for the US, so
yes.
need to count those pennies.
Yeah, I think I would have flown had we not have been going to America in a few weeks.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good. All right. Good. So, is there any more on the travel there, or is that the key highlight? Smacking your fox.
I think we solved the world's problems on the way there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we did.
Well, be nice if you told everyone about it.
Oh no, that's completely.
There's a few problems.
We're going to sell that.
Okay. Cool. Must have been a discussion while I was sleeping.
Is this why you're off to America?
Basically, yeah. Okay. No, what did we learn? I think we learned I was not aware. We're doing a training course while we were over in the States with the JTAC guys.
Didn't you book that?
Yes, I booked it, yeah.
So why were we not aware of it?
What I wasn't aware of that those guys
we knew we were doing it.
They do a podcast.
Yes,
not very often, but they do a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So we listened to that on the way over.
Yep.
So then we decided we haven't told them about it yet. So if they listen to our podcast, which obviously they would.
Yes.
But we're going to do a podcast with them when we go over there for the training course.
That'd be pretty cool.
That's what we're going to do.
No one listens to the podcast, by the way. This podcast.
No. So we should reach out to them.
See, what will happen is the week after their podcast with us on it, our views will spike. And then they'll
we'll go from like 2 to 4.
Yeah. Well, spike.
Hey, a spike's a spike.
There's 5 people
that's
that do
leveling
JTAG, up. So maybe it'll go from 2 to 5.
7 to 7, because that's 5 people.
And then
not all of them will listen to it.
No,
fair enough.
Yeah, they'll all listen to one episode, and then they'll be like, "Well, this is rubbish," and they'll stop listening, and the spike will go down.
Good. Oh, good.
That was the main takeaway. Yeah.
Yeah. So
what did we learn from listening to those guys? That they talk a lot about crap and not a lot about shooting.
That's relatable.
Yeah, it resonates with me. Yeah.
Well, actually, I think I can't remember if it was the way there or the way back. It was good because they talk about the stages that they have struggles on as well. Like they talk about stages that they'll completely mess up.
That's plenty of options for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to narrow it down. Andy.
Yeah. They're talking about 1 or 2 stages. Typically, it's the whole match for me.
Yeah.
But it's
I got there on the Friday.
Yeah. So, they'll discuss a stage where, they just can't get on target. The wind is all over the place. They're stuffing up positions. And I sort of said, well, it's good to know they have bad stages too.
And then they came second. Yeah.
It's good to know that competent shooters have troubles as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Good. Well, we got one thing in common then.
Well, we're not competent.
No, the troubles bit.
Oh, right. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Very good. All right. Is that the drive there?
I think that covers Thursday.
Yeah, we left. What did we leave at 5? We got there at like
5.
9:30 or something like that.
Yep.
So you bang it out in a day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Solid.
We
Okay.
did.
Yep.
Where'd you stay up there? Oh, you stayed on site, isn't it?
Oh, we got a triple share motel room.
Triple share
in Gunnedah.
Okay.
Two bedroom.
Yeah.
Well,
it was
not
2
bedroom.
Yeah.
It was 2 rooms.
It was 1 bedroom with 3 beds and.
Yep.
Okay.
I had to share my bed with you too during the day. It was a bit weird.
During the day?
It was in the lounge area.
Wow.
Well, when we weren't sleeping, sorry, and in the room.
Okay. All right. It's a whole different podcast, that one.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll move on to Friday. So Friday was a good day. We sort of took it pretty easy.
What did we do? Well, we went out for the biggest breakfast ever.
Yeah, pretty big country town sort of breakfast, like where it's just.
Well, this sounds like good topics rather than shooting.
Up.
Let's get on to that.
Fried up, greasy food.
Yep.
Yeah.
You had like the biggest brekkie burger that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yep.
You ate about half of.
Apparently, it was pretty big, and apparently there were hash browns in there, and it all just sort of turned into mush, but it was tasty. It was all right. It was all right. What else?
Distracted from there. Did you actually rock up to breakfast?
Yeah, we did.
Day?
We did make it to the range.
Okay. I thought this was going to be a breakfast podcast.
Yeah.
for a moment.
No, it was cool. There were plenty of targets out there on the Friday. Obviously, we were told not to shoot them all, but a lot of people did.
It lasted about 3 seconds.
Yep.
Hey, all these targets on a gun range, don't shoot them.
Yeah, they said during the stage brief, they were like, "Oh yeah, don't shoot the targets except for these ones."
Yeah.
It's your first time, isn't it?
Yeah, if you don't want the targets shot, put them on the ground.
Or take the core flute down for the Western Australians.
Yes, remember that story?
Yeah, right.
But they did have.
That was a Monado story
Yeah, it was.
where there was core flute up. What was the core flute up for?
Right.
Oh,
That's
we had a target on a post, and we're like, "I'll just lie that down because we don't want anyone to shoot at that." And we had a core flute indicator
Yep.
on the
That's right.
post, and wanted to pass the Western Australians. And they're like, "Has anyone hit that target at 500 meters?" And I'm like, "What target at 500 meters? You got a target at 500 meters?" They're like, "Oh, that one over on the left there." You're like, "That's a bit of core flute." And like, "Oh, good. We've sent like 100 rounds of that thing." So in I think it was a record for us. We had to replace the piece of timber that the core flute was screwed to before anyone had taken a single shot at it because they shot the timber out.
Good.
Um,
All right.
So what did they have that was good? They had a shot marker. One of the
Yes.
the Adam McDonald shot markers out there.
Okay.
That was call it a K. I can't remember.
Yeah,
exactly what it
980
was.
something.
So they had that.
998.
Yeah, they had that set up. So it was a really interesting range where they moved the firing position forward like they do in Buchan to get a bit more room. But that puts you down in like very close to the ground level for the first 100, 150 meters.
Yep.
So a lot of people just lay down and wanted to shoot, which is terrible because the target boards are quite low to the ground and just in Mirage City.
Right.
What they had was a really cool fire truck, like a 1960s Scout, something or other, or I can't forget what it was. And that was up, obviously elevated, and had a platform across there. And that was, you go up there and talk to Scotty Patel, was running that. Had the iPad there with the shot marker, and you could go and check your data at a K.
So what's the shot marker? What's
It's like an electronic target.
okay?
So you put these 4 little microphones out, and they listen as the projectile cruises past, and then they plot it on a target for you.
And can you put core flute there for the WA guys? Or
Well, it's kind of on call flute anyway.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. They'd be all over
They
it.
felt right at home. Yeah.
they'd be all over
They
it.
still never hit anything.
And we're offending people again.
We're just going state by state at this point.
It is a I mean, it'd take a lot more than that to offend the Western Australians, I feel.
I believe in you, Plushie.
Give me time. So yeah, you could go up and check your waterline, true your data, which was really good.
Yep.
So it was really good. Actually, I encouraged a lot of people that were making little adjustments to their turrets at 100 meters, and like, don't do that.
No.
You're in Mirage City down here. Get up in that fire truck away from the Mirage. Go true your data at a K. We're not going to be shooting at 100 meters to the match. Just worry about it, what it does down there.
Yep.
And
Good
I
idea.
think that worked out quite well for the people that did it.
Yeah, that was definitely worthwhile. I had a bit of playing around with the BC and trued up pretty well.
Did you hit anything at a K, Andy?
I did.
Hey, did you?
And further.
And further?
Beyond.
Yeah, right.
And like,
Is that
not on
because you
Friday
missed a
did.
K?
Not on Friday.
Not on Friday.
Not on Friday.
Okay.
I shot targets I wasn't meant to. Okay.
I did.
Friday?
Yeah.
I believe
You
everyone
didn't?
did.
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
He's not willing to admit that.
did not.
Good. All right. And that was Friday. Right, so you didn't. Oh, Josh, you're back and it's broken.
Did you not turn the light on properly?
It went flat.
You
You
had
didn't
one
charge
job.
it.
One job.
Actually, several.
All the others are working. Ignore it. It's fine.
He's pushing buttons and he's pushed the button wrong, clearly.
All right.
Grab the one behind you and put it on the ground. It'll be fun.
What did they have? They had a side match.
Hang
Yeah,
on.
he did.
I've got a torch on my phone. Let me just. Oh, it's upside down.
Nailed it.
Fixed.
Cool.
Perfect.
Lighting.
Yeah.
They had the 22 side match.
22 side match. That's the staple side match, isn't it? Pretty good.
Mm? Yeah, we haven't actually heard anything about the 22 side matches this year. Are they pretty stock standard or
They're a
something
thing.
unique?
You see that green thing behind us? That's what you get for winning the side match at Nioka.
That's what I got.
The green thing.
The tripod. The fat boy.
Part of it's
Well,
green.
part of it's whatever.
The bracket's green. Okay, cool.
The bit you can see on the camera.
Yeah,
if you
right.
can see it at
Won
all
that
on
for the
camera.
side match. Nice.
Yeah.
Very
so
good.
I was
You won it.
pretty chuffed with that. Yeah.
Huh.
It all went downhill from there.
Right. I was going to say,
He peaked on Friday.
Yeah.
It was because of the breakfast.
Yeah, it must have been.
Okay.
But no, it was not a bad side match. I think just shot off that tripod and off a very wobbly blue box. Was it like a transport
No, I thought it was a
plastic?
brown box.
Brown? I thought it was one of the blue Eskies. Oh, it's, whatever.
All right.
Obviously, colour doesn't matter. A wobbly Esky. I think it was an Esky.
I don't know. I shot it so terribly I didn't take notice.
Okay, cool.
Did you try tripod rear or tack table rear?
Did not try take table rear. That might have been a good idea though.
Yeah, previously it always is. Okay, Andy,
So,
good.
I don't know.
Friday for you is good. Good plushie. Everything checked out. Did what it's meant to.
Well, actually, no, it didn't.
Oh, okay. Is this 25 Creedmoor stories?
Yeah. So I did all my load dev a week or two before.
Mm.
I wanted to slow that load down I talked about last time.
Yes.
And did that, and I was like, oh, this is, I think it was 39.5 grains of 09. I was like, oh, that's really good. It's really consistent shooting 2780 or whatever it was. And then I cleaned the gun back to bare metal and then started shooting. I'm like, 2740. Oh. And it came up a little bit, but I shot the match at like 2760-ish. It was still shooting good, but not as good as it had been the week before. So that was a bit of a lesson that I sort of went, I must have been right on the edge. And I did my load dev, obviously. I finished it off with a dirty barrel and then I started with a clean barrel. And it sort of worked into it over the weekend. So
Okay.
lesson. Next time I'm going to put a couple more tenths of a grain in the case.
Got it.
It'll be okay.
Fair enough.
Mm.
How far off the range were you guys staying?
35, 40 minutes?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so not too bad. Did plenty of people stay on site? Was that?
I reckon it's about half and half.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's had some pretty basic camping.
The
Camping stuff.
Queenslanders like camping.
Yep.
I think.
True.
Pretty much most of them camped, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit of a mix from there on.
Nice. All right. Into Saturday? Are we into Saturday or anything else to say pre-match?
Well, yeah, one thing they did.
Sorry, by this Friday, how are you tracking, Josh? You doing all right on the Friday?
Which Friday was this?
Yep, definitely.
Yep, we're doing really well.
Excellent. Good to
Yep.
hear. All right.
Did
Thought
you
I'd
have
check in.
teeth or no teeth at that point?
No teeth.
No
I was
teeth,
doing better
right.
at this
So
one.
better, yeah,
yeah.
gotcha.
Yep.
Teeth were gone.
Minus the teeth.
Minus teeth. All right.
Oh, dear.
We were winning.
on to Saturday, teethless.
Yeah.
Toothless.
Toothless.
Teethless.
Toothless. Yeah.
Hmm.
How to Train a Dragon. Right.
What?
Josh isn't a
You
dragon.
don't watch that on repeat. Your
never-
girls are older than that now.
I've never seen that. Sorry.
I didn't mind that movie.
One of Andy's top three.
It's targeted for
That's
6-year-olds, yeah.
Oh, so it's a little advanced.
Well,
Okay, you work into it.
my mental's, getting there.
You helped him learn, all right?
Small steps.
He's got to have his mum there with him.
Friday they had tunes. They had
Oh, that was good.
speakers and like a PA system. They had the tunes cranking
Okay,
Yeah.
during the practice. Or?
during most of Friday. Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
No, it was really good. I sort of felt like it set up a good atmosphere.
Good
Like,
vibe.
Good vibe.
Heard Thunderstruck more times than I care to remember.
Was it just three songs on repeat?
Yeah, there's a couple of other classic tunes that just seem to be on repeat.
Okay, good.
But no, I felt like that was good touch, and it sort of made an appearance at the end of Sunday as well. The tunes.
Do you guys remember we used to have an opening tune for PRS in the morning?
Ooh.
Do you guys remember this?
Don't
This is
recall
probably
this.
this might be
PRI or PR?
PRS.
Oh.
I actually might have. No, I think it was a PRS thing. It was the soundtrack from The Power of One.
I like that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. And Josh, is that something you can bring up and play?
Like right now.
Maybe.
Go.
I'm getting people sending me things from the weekend.
Right, I'm
Sean's
with
sending
getting.
footage through.
With or without teeth?
I think people are listening.
Oh, what?
What?
Crazy. What are you looking up?
Sean was just good enough to send me a video of how he tried to warn me not to use tack table rear, and I did not listen. In fact, I just tried to kick him in the balls. Was the only thing I tried. Yep, there it goes.
What am I looking up?
Power of One is a song. Is the movie. And it was the opening. It was I'm trying to remember what the name of the. No, that's not it.
Nope, not that one.
It is the Rainmaker. It is the Rainmaker, and this was we'd first thing in the morning. Basically, you'd throw this on full volume. It's definitely getting us striking. You'd wake up to this.
It's like Lion King.
Yeah, it's along those lines, but more, probably older, I think. It the whole, we obviously won't listen to the whole thing, but the song builds and builds and builds and gets you pretty pumped up in the morning.
right.
Yeah, it sort of holds you over until coffee time.
I'll have to try that one.
Yeah, give that a crack.
All right.
Yeah, anyone who camped at PRS early days may remember that song. Maybe it's bringing back some PTSD
I
right now.
believe the only thing that happened with people that camped was somebody left their chair out overnight and it caught fire. Because it fell into the fire.
That happens.
Blew into
So-
the fire, they reckon.
It blew into the fire. Allegedly blew into the fire.
I've certainly had that happen on a camping trip where we walked
I don't-
away for a while.
Somebody got locked in the long drops later on in the weekend, so I'm wondering if maybe there was something else going on behind the
Some
scenes. that we don't know
shenanigans,
about.
eh?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right, on to Saturday.
Yeah, on to Saturday.
Mm.
Well, it was forecasted some pretty big wins for the weekend, so
It delivered.
it delivered. Yeah. Saturday was, I think, we was sort of looking at 10 to 25 mile an hour sort of wind.
Okay.
Definitely very gusty. Picked up and down. Picked up, dropped down. What else? What other notes we
Do
got?
you remember
there?
anything from the weekend?
No, not really. I'm just sort of going off.
Do those notes not jog memories that you can be like and then talk about?
Because your notes jogged memories for me.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I remember these things.
I wasn't there.
Slow, build up, and let off.
Are we talking about the song still? Or
No, so
So-
So what Andy is actually trying to say, right, this is a lead in to a point.
oh, right.
So when you were shooting at distance,
You go watch How to Train Your Dragon or whatever it is, and we'll let the adults talk.
Train my
Toothless.
mind.
Toothless becomes the alpha.
I haven't had my coffee tonight. That's my problem. Maybe I should have had that espresso martini.
I offered him. I
Yeah.
offered you one.
Yeah.
Josh has still got some left. You could fight him for it. That'd make a good
Stay there.
podcast, wouldn't it?
So we saw a lot of when we were shooting at distance, particularly
Look at my
900
notes.
meters. And you can turn that over. What we saw quite a bit of is the wind would gust up and then stay up for a bit and then drop off. And what you found a lot, someone would miss because of the wind because they were shit, and then and then they'd add, but the wind was still picking up, and then they'd end up missing in exactly the same spot. You'd be like, oh wow, you didn't add anything. You talk to me like, did you add? And they're like, yeah, I added wind, but the wind was actually still building.
Yep.
Which is a really hard thing to decide when you're shooting. You're like, the wind was doing this. I missed by this much. Can you feel it picking up? Can you see it picking up? Not really.
Was there much to gauge wind off on this range?
There was a windmill that was in like a paddock 500 meters away. There was some blades of grass and then a couple of trees.
A few
Yep.
trees. Yeah, so there were the
Not a lot.
indicators out there.
But not a lot.
No,
Yeah.
the
Not obvious. No. Oh, they're obvious, but not big. Not lots of data.
Yeah, we
Okay.
watched the live stream on Saturday night, I think, looking like, was there any indicators that you could see around the shooter when some people got like blown off of skills too, like massively blown off? You're like, no, there was no indicators at the shooter.
Okay.
So yeah, we saw
Yeah,
a bit of that.
Yep.
The same on the let off, they'd miss on the upwind side, and then they'd take some wind out, and miss in a very similar place.
When you're saying this sort of is gusting in, picking up for a while, and then dropping back out, like are you talking over a 30-second period or a 10-minute period, or
I reckon it was more like a minute or two.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
So you got people that would have a somewhat consistent wind.
Yep.
And then it'd build on them during the stage. And the next person would sort of shoot in the high wind and then it'd drop out of them sort of mid stage.
As they're going, yeah, okay,
So
it
it was not too many people got a lot of consistent wind the entire stage.
Yeah, like I think we came away from that match like thinking this was a weekend where your wind reading skills really had to develop because
Gotcha.
you'd talk to people coming straight off the stage and they'd be like, I only needed like 0.4, 0.6. You'd go down to shoot and you needed like 0.9 straight up, and you're like, wow, well, that's it's you can't
But so
couldn't
it wasn't-
rely on.
It wasn't switchy winds. It was sort of increasing and dropping off throughout the stage, but not changing.
Yeah. The direction
Yeah.
was changing a little bit.
It was?
Yeah, a
Okay.
little bit, but
Yeah.
it was more the strength was picking up and letting off. Yeah.
Gotcha. It's
Sort of
probably sort of starts to point to why Collie was at the pointy end there,
Yeah.
because he is
Pretty
very
used to the
good
wind.
in wind.
Yeah, yeah.
He is.
Extremely good. Yeah.
No, he definitely is. I mean, we were shooting. What was that?
Oh, sorry. Did I just give the ending away on Sunday? Sorry.
No, he
No.
did terrible on Sunday. It's all right. He tripped over on Sunday and hurt himself.
All right. I hope there's notes on that. Let's
Yeah, I don't know.
we'll wait for that.
I'll let you know when I get there.
Okay.
What is that?
I don't know. I
Like
did.
sparklies
What
on
have
your
you done to
I
you?
mean, speaking of big wind calls and stuff, I've got a clip sent to me by Sean Lawson.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Do you remember Sean Lawson recording you?
Yep.
Is this something we can't watch?
Yep. This is day 2. We're not allowed to watch this yet. That's in the Sunday notes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
Cool.
in
That's that then.
But what we should actually, what we forgot about, nobody's reminded me of, which I'm really disappointed.
It's not in the notes. Is it in the notes? Come on. We had 17 hours to write these notes.
We didn't write it down. I went to do my first stage, and we had a bit of an incident talking about Collie.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
I heard about this one.
So I wasn't really paying attention. I was just sort of behind in the glass in my own little space.
Pink stick.
No, it wasn't pink stick.
Okay.
No.
And then Andy McNeil was good enough to drive down for the weekend and be a range officer, but PRS OG
Legend.
almost.
Yep.
And he's
Yeah,
like, hey,
not
Flushy, you're up.
almost, definitely.
Yeah.
PRS OG.
He's like, you're up. I'm like, I am not ready for this. Just like throw my gloves on the ground, throw my jacket off. I'm like, all good. Walked up to the line. He's like, you ready? I'm like, yeah, man. He's like, you sure you're ready? I'm like, I am definitely ready. He's like, okay. And I was like, it's weird. Anyway, I even tilted my gun to the side, so he has AW mags, and I'm like, nope, no double feed, we're good. And he's like, okay, shoot, are you ready? I'm like, yep, beep, go down. I'm like,
No one can hear what you're doing.
no one can hear what I'm doing. That was me trying to close my bolt that wasn't there.
Yes.
Pulling a collie.
Yes,
Yeah.
so I pulled a collie, and then I looked at him and I was like, are we doing this on the clock? And he's like, I asked you if you're ready. I was like, oh, rough.
Rough but fair.
Well, I feel like the other matches where I've argued for shooters to get a reshoot when they've done the exact same thing was all in vain now.
Oh.
What about that one where you really had collies back in Buchan?
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have argued for him. So I ran back to my bag, which was fortunately only about 5 meters away.
Yeah.
Sort of went under some flags and literally was just throwing things out of my bag. There's the bolt. And then I've run back and put my bolt in the gun, and that was about 35 seconds in.
Yeah.
And I took my first 2 shots. I'm like, this is okay, we got him. And then I looked at my data card and I was like, oh, that's not there. I turned around and looked at my bag, and the data card had fallen off while I was rifling through my bag to get my bolt out.
Perfect.
So I ran back and got that.
Yep.
And came back and then started shooting. And
Didn't
then,
take your bolt with you and leave it back in your bag?
no, I
Okay.
didn't remove my bolt for safety purposes.
Just checking.
So I ran back. It was a 12-shot stage in 105, I reckon.
Yep.
And had the bowling pins, which I don't like anyway. And the bowling pins got a single strap, and I shot it, and it just, both of the ones that I shot with it just went completely sideways. And I'm like, I don't have time. And I just closed the bolt and pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
I was like, nope, missed. Next. And then got the first one, missed the second one. And I rattled all my shots off and got all my shots off with a couple of seconds to go.
Right.
And so I got 6 out of 12, which is not great. But I think the top score for that stage was only 8.
Oh, okay.
So Andy McNeil we were first stage of the day, but it came back to me the day. He's like, that was not bad at all.
Yep.
And he's like, do you know how many people didn't even get 10 shots off? And you had a 45 to 50 second handicap over those people. But the person that got burnt most by it, which is quite funny, is Nick Noski. He was shooting after me.
Yeah.
And he wasn't watching the first 30 or 40 seconds of the stage. So he missed the entire debacle of
Of
having
your
my bolt
debacle.
or my data
Yep.
card.
Yep.
All he saw was getting me getting down behind the gun and
Just
just closing the bolt,
flinging.
pulling the trigger, and closing the bolt, pulling the trigger. And then so he's like, I guess you must have to run this one real quick to get your shots. So he finished with about 40 seconds to spare and got 6 as well. Then he's like, why did you shoot so quick? I'm like, did you not see the first bit of that stage? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, oh my gosh.
Good.
So on Sunday morning, when I pulled my gun out of my bag, I've never had so many people actually observe to see what I was doing, and I pulled it out. I'm like, it's already in there. I decided to take my chances with New South Wales Firearms Branch. So we're good. Did not forget my bolt on the second day.
Good.
That's good. Lessons learned.
Good move.
And then I shot my first stage and did something else silly.
We'll come back to that
Yeah,
one.
Come back to that. That could be in the notes.
Yeah.
Very good. Andy, what's your next note, mate?
Next
You
note.
seem to be driving the
Well,
show, so.
let's go back into my mind.
Oh, good luck.
You should definitely unlock your phone.
That was a good episode. We'll catch you next time.
There's a lot of room in here.
Have you got like some of that?
That's
like,
a good one.
tranquility type into the
That won't even cover it.
So I think being in such a good mood on the Friday with the tunes and everything going well, I came into
Breakfast. Don't forget the
Winning
the
the side
breakfast.
match.
winning this. Well, at that point, I didn't know I'd won. I knew
You knew you did well.
I knew I did well.
Yeah.
I knew only a couple of people, a few
So-
people had cleaned it.
Is this when you're telling me you didn't bother rocking up Saturday?
No, I did rock up.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. In a good mood. They had the tunes going as well. I think
Before
before the match actually started.
Yep.
And then they turned them off, and I was like, "Oh, can we not shoot? Can we not shoot with those on? That was good."
Yeah. Cleaned the first stage, and I was like,
There we go, Andy.
"You beauty!"
There we go.
And
So
and
when
then
does this story get bad?
the next stage?
I knew it wouldn't be far away.
Yeah, that's it.
What stage did you start on?
Yes.
I'll just go and find you're only clean. Hang on, give me a minute. I reckon you started on stage 4.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That is your only clean for day 1.
Yeah.
Is that where he's written hell yeah in the notes?
That was your only clean on day 1.
Yeah, it
we got
was.
that.
Thank you. So,
So stage 5.
Stage 4.
Stage 4
Is
was my
when he
first.
cleaned it.
Oh,
Oh,
stage
I'm
five.
not interested in that. That sounds boring. What happened on stage 5?
You got a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
What was that one?
I thought you said it went bad.
4 shots.
Oh, you shot off the fire truck.
Yeah, rushed the last 4 shots. I thought I was running out of time. I wasn't.
Oh, you and Noski got something in common.
Yeah. But then if we jump forward to the last stage of Sunday, I also
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
jumping
I
timelines
thought-
here.
Hey
this-
guys, we don't need this anymore.
Yeah, just need that phone. His phone can
but
be the light.
this is something that like I've thought about and only sort of realized maybe I should start implementing it.
Oh, yeah.
Is like obviously
Is there
my
a stage called Huck Tour? There is. Excellent.
That was the last stage of the match.
Yeah, perfect.
um,
Usually is.
so I cleaned the very last stage of the match as well. So the first stage.
Well, you got
is
the
Saturday.
skills to pay the bills, mate.
Yeah. So my thinking is in a good mood, positive attitude.
Yep.
First stage
Yep.
done. Last stage, had fun, had a good time. Let's
Yep.
get it done. Cleaned it.
Don't worry about what happens in between.
Yeah. It's the rest of it's a mess, and I'm overthinking everything. So,
Yep.
So I went and bought something.
Oh,
because
okay.
That's what PRS shooters do.
Well, like a Game Boy or something?
No, you're buying points.
Yeah.
It's a function on PRS Australia now. You just
That's
organise how many points you want to buy for the next match. and take
that's
money.
right. Yeah. Throw some cash around and go. Yep, that'll give me 3 extra points. That's right.
Gotcha.
No, I got some.
All the tradies at the pointy end, are they?
Well, the Sparkies are anyway.
No, I don't think so. So got some Bluetooth ear protection.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked the music so much. I'm going to play some music. I've even gone to the point of getting like a
A
count.
live band just to follow me around.
Hey, there's
for the
an idea.
weekend.
How good? How good?
Someone with
Marching band comes up to you on
A
the
ukulele.
street stage.
Down the
Yeah.
line.
But yeah, something I'm going to try this weekend at the club is just to have some background tunes, get my headspace like in a good vibe.
What Eddie doesn't know is the ones that he bought don't last 9 hours with Bluetooth playing. They go flat.
That'll be fun.
He doesn't know this.
Or they don't have security and you can connect any device during the stage to them. And then just to like be pumping some into
Well,
it.
Just definitely leave your phone on a bench somewhere.
how good? All right, we'll see how this goes.
Well, we could actually, because if we,
I'm going to go to the range this weekend.
Yeah,
so if we pushed out our own profiles to Andy's Kestrel, because he probably doesn't have it locked, so we could completely stuff his Kestrel data and then just hook into his Bluetooth and play some.
I'm going to play some Power One. There we go.
how good? All right, well, be writing down manual data sheets now. But
Meanwhile, Opie's phone, it's How to Train Your Dragon soundtrack.
And he's taken up humming.
oh dear. All right, but
Gotcha.
the other thing.
Sorry,
that
what was the best idea?
the second thing I'm going to do to
Yep.
help me slow down and
It's not shoot with us
and not
anymore.
rush is probably distance myself from you guys. But
Good point.
It's going to be
but,
hard when we're spending next month in each other's pocket.
That's what you think.
I'm just not going to show up.
We should pay you half. I don't care.
No, I've got I've put music. I said, oh yeah, I'm going to play music, but I've also got like a countdown timer, like a vocal thing that will only
Just for no stress.
no, but during
It's going to go great. It'll be out of sync to the beat as well. 2, hurry up!
No,
what is
he
it?
put it on
What
there
is
and be
it?
like 5, 4, 3, 2.5, 2, 1.5, 1.25.
No, you got to start talking like drum talk. It's a 1E and a 2E and a no, but so because I looked at those Crush It timers and I thought maybe I should get one of them, but you know they were only available for the first 5 seconds apparently, and then
That's
they all
not a very
sold
good
out.
timer if it's a short one.
No, however they just sold out
Oh,
straight
right,
away.
okay.
But I'm going to try my own thing and got a like a recording of like it will start saying 90 seconds and then the next vocal will be 60 and then
What if the stage is 85 seconds?
yeah, whatever. I'll start it earlier. But then 60, then 30, then 10, then 5, and then 3, and then 2, 1, 0.
And I can just
Shooter, are
wait-
you
and
ready? I will be in exactly 5 seconds.
I can see it now. You're just going to be like going to dial your data and you'll be like, oh, 10, cool. Subliminal messaging.
Yeah, 10. Why not? No, it's we'll see how that goes this weekend.
Oh, that was a thing that happened on the weekend. There was several
Oh.
people that ended up a full rev. Yes, almost ended a full rev out.
That's right.
Oh,
Well,
this
actually,
is
a couple
really
of people
good,
did end up a full rev out,
that's a good point.
including my co-host.
Yeah,
he realised
I realised. Yep.
after the shooter in front of him didn't
had
realise.
done it.
Yeah, because I guess most PRS shooters in Australia haven't gone to that second
No.
rev.
Well, yeah, and was out of K, it's give or take 10 mils for most people.
Yep.
So that's also on a lot of turrets close to 0.
Yes, yeah. Mine was exactly 9.9 at a K,
Yep.
and then so the stage after, I was like, oh, I'll just write my scope and my scope turret, write my dope for the next stage, and didn't even think about zipping
Dialing
it
back down.
Yeah.
That's actually a really interesting observation from the weekend that a lot of people that no, could be careful, I don't want to offend everybody.
Well, if you're going to offend them all.
What's stopping you this time?
Yeah.
I watch a lot of people that I
You've
consider
changed,
to be. I watch a lot of people that I consider to be good shooters. Send
Here it comes.
repeated shots into the same hole in the dirt a meter away from the target.
Right, is one of them sitting at this table?
I didn't watch Andy shoot actually.
okay.
No, I
I was
did.
too busy not dropping shots. No, I definitely dropped plenty of those.
Just not into the same hole.
No, it was amazing. People weren't
Wow.
looking. They weren't looking a meter or a meter and a half away from the target for misses at distance because they're used to missing, just off the edge or 10th or 2.
Yep.
And you were sitting behind them and you're like, "Yep, he's missed." And you're like, "Oh wow, he's missed again." Like, "Oh, that's a pretty tidy group in the dirt."
Same spot. Yep.
It was actually a bit eye opening for people that obviously just hadn't shot at that distance before.
It's just, that
in variable
experience.
wind, and you're just like, okay, it was quite interesting.
Yeah, we had a guy on our stage who was shooting at the 1,000 meters, and they were landing about 2-3 meters left.
Yep.
And he was like, he came off the stage and he's like, anyone see where they were going? I was holding 0.8 wind, and we're all like, yeah, you probably needed 2.8 mils.
Right.
For that target.
Wow.
Yeah, there was quite a few wrong targets impacted, like target to the left type jobby, and there was hit indicators. That was another interesting thing. We had hit indicators on most of the targets past 600 meters. If you hit the one next to the target, it'd quite often set the target off that you were supposed to be shooting at.
Right.
And people would be like, no, I hit that one. And
Oh,
we're
so
like,
you had 2 targets like on one frame.
yeah. And so to set them off, and then you'd be like, well, I mean, no. We saw that flasher go off before that one, and we're watching the trace, and they're like, oh, okay.
Because I guess, it could be you could be clipping the left edge of one target due to wind, and then you move to the next target, which is on the right, and then suddenly you're clipping the right edge of the first target.
Yep.
Or
And
the wind
that's-
just picks up to 28 miles an hour, and,
Yeah,
and you
true.
miss the target to the left. Yeah,
Yeah.
That'll do it.
that happened. Yeah,
To you?
we had some pretty big wind holds.
Yeah, right.
Which is in your. You don't need to read the notes because I can remember them.
No, I was seeing what's next after
We're
that.
talking about wind holds. So
Yeah.
Just a question I had, but I don't want to jump ahead because have to follow the rules. Did you shoot a lot further? Do you guys talk about how far you actually shot?
The further shot was 990 something or other meters.
Didn't
which
you
is-
guys shoot further than that?
on Sunday
Oh,
afternoon?
Sunday.
We did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I definitely
shall
didn't try that
sit
on Friday.
patiently
Did not
and
do it on
wait
Friday at
for
all.
Sunday afternoon's discussions.
Yep.
There's a structure, Rusty. Can you? Just
I
follow the structure?
was trying to work out whether I'm not
Yeah,
up to
Andy
speed.
was
want
good
the
enough to
notes?
share the structure with you.
No. Oh, this is great. Let's get on to overall. Needed to be bold on the wind. Oh, sorry.
Well, yeah.
Send
What was your
video
biggest,
to
what was your
Josh to
biggest
play.
wind hold, Andy, for the match?
I think I was about 3. I think mine was about 3 mils.
I can't remember. I think I was 2.7, but I'm not sure.
2.8, I reckon you were. And Noski was 3.6.
Okay.
He's running a bit slower in the 6 mil, but yeah.
So I've got bolt whoops on the notes.
Oh, yeah, it was in there.
We've covered that one. Plushie was holding 2.9 was the most. Andy 3 mil and Noski 3.6 mil was the biggest hold for the
Well,
match.
I tell a slight lie there because
Oh,
slight lie.
brags on everyone else, and here he
It's
is.
actually 12 mil.
So no, there was a stage where I went back to the target at a K, close enough to, and I was like, okay, that's 2.5 mils, no worries, cool. Sent it. I was like, wow, that missed a mil to the left. I was like, 3.5 it is. And then as I put 3.5 on, I was like, you had to move that reticle a very long way to get from 2.5 to 3.5. I'm like, did you hold him 1.5 or 2.5? I'm not entirely sure.
Yes.
And I was like, you're wasting time here. What do? You're like, no, trust the bullet. And then I sent it and missed it to mill to the right.
Yep.
I was like, nope, 2.5 is what I needed.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
held 1.5 for that
Yeah,
target.
no, trust the bullet, just not the shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Got it.
did a similar thing. My first hold was I was meant to be holding 1.8, and under the recoil, I think it hit, but the recoil just moved it a touch off, so it was sitting on 0.8, and I was like, perfect, send it again, and missed.
Hang on, I thought the Chads didn't recoil.
It was a shitty position. It was me. It was me.
Good.
Yeah, so but we also found that range you needed 2 wind calls, 2 at different distances. there was the valley.
That's a good segue.
Oh, perfect.
It's wind bracketing.
Yeah,
Let's take that valley
wind bracketing, and
discussion.
also
I think
Yeah.
it.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks for acknowledging it. Yeah.
so
Carry on.
People that were good at managing different wind brackets.
Mhm.
I think it really paid off for.
yeah,
I think we both started Saturday with 2 wind brackets, like a low and a high.
Yep.
And I think I started with 8 mile an hour and 16 mile an hour, and by
Mhm.
lunchtime I was up to 10 and 20. And generally my shots fell within those 2.
Mhm.
And then by the time Sunday had come around, you're like, that's actually more than a target width in high and low.
Mm.
As you're starting to understand the range a bit more, I ended up by Sunday morning, I was actually running 3 wind brackets, a low, a medium, a high. And so the ones in close were generally sort of low. Once you got to 500 meters to 600 or 700 meters, they sort of fell into the middle bracket.
Mhm.
By the time you got out the back, you're up to your high bracket, which really made quite a big difference actually once you got your head around it.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I ran 7 mile an hour, 10 mile an hour, and 12. So yeah, definitely those closer targets.
7, 10, that's odd. 7, 10, and 12. Why not even numbers? It's just hurting my OCD. Or not even just equal distance between the numbers or gaps or something.
Well, because I figure if it's like lower than 7, then it's not much.
It was never lower than 7. So okay.
No.
Yeah. Okay. That's,
Well, I don't know.
you've justified your first point.
Maybe
Yep.
maybe it was when I was shooting. Well, that's the stage I cleaned.
You got 7 out of 12 on that stage, buddy.
Oh, that's not the one I cleaned. The last stage of the day. Where's that? Which one was it?
The last stage of day 2.
Which one was it?
I'm so confused. Are we on day 1 or day 2
I don't
still?
know at this point.
All right.
The one lesson I've learned is don't let Andy do the notes.
Must be the one that, watch you can. That's one because I haven't filled it out. And that was the ute. That was the last one.
Okay.
And I had 2 wind brackets.
Well, open your phone back up, but I did see some notes about barricades there.
Yes.
So how were the barricades at this match?
Oh, good.
Because this is a Luke McKinney match,
Yep.
who's the first one to bring up barricades. How was his barricades?
Well, I mean, they're pretty good actually. They were simple.
I'm not surprised, but
They were
excellent.
simple but effective. Like we were talking in the lead up to the match, and he was a little bit worried about a couple of things. I'm like, to be honest with you, Luke, like we've got distance that we don't have usually. Like all it needs to have is solid but reasonable barricades, and nobody's going to worry about the barricades. You're going to worry about the wind and the targets downrange. And he nailed that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Also nailed the big small targets.
Yep.
And that sort of his target sizes were spot on for the wind we had.
Now it says here on Sunday that Plushie had sex with a car bonnet.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What a
badly
note.
on that one.
Is that correct?
Well,
I didn't write
so
that.
on day 1, I forgot.
did?
Yeah, I did.
You,
Oh,
yeah.
I
you
so,
must have written that one.
so my forgetting to put the bolt in on day 1 was on the ute, on the back of the ute, on the tray of the ute.
Right.
And then Sunday morning we moved to the bonnet of the ute. Didn't go a whole lot better, although I had my bolt in this time. So everyone was struggling.
Is
with
that
the
what you
height.
call it?
Yeah, everyone was struggling with the height of the bonnet was sort of going as they do down. And then it was sort of on the bit of a side of a hill. So everyone was,
Look at you being Adrian Newey over there. Bonnets go down.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
as does Red Bull's performance.
Ooh. Ooh. All right. Here
Let's
we
go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
This just became a 6-hour podcast.
So people were having trouble with their bipod being too high or their rear bag being too short. And I was like, okay, I got this. I'm just going to drop my bipod legs down a notch. It'll be fine. And what I actually did was put it at an awkward height where my rear bag in its normal position was too low, and in its upright position was too high.
Gotcha.
So there was no happy place.
Tack table rear then.
Yeah, basically there was no happy place at the rear, and I spent a lot of time trying to get my bag height organised, and didn't take a lot of shots on that stage.
Bummer.
I think I didn't take 4 or 5 shots on that stage.
Yeah.
Good.
Something. No, actually, I tell a lie. I'd gone 7 from 7, and I didn't take the last 3 shots.
You're like, I'm doing well here. I'm out.
I was like, this is going amazingly. Beep. Oh wow. Yeah, good.
Right. You should have that counter in your ear. That way
would've been heaps
you
better,
could have
yeah.
timed
That's right.
out and been stressed about it.
Yeah. You've gone 10 seconds. No. Damn it.
I can
Yeah.
see you, Andy, on a stage just arguing with what's
He just pulls his phone out and pushes pause.
5, 4, and you're like, are you kidding me?
Shit.
No, check again.
Can we run this in Canadian seconds?
Oh, it's the same, but stickier.
Tastes like maple.
Yeah, I did see a few people in our squad with that, not account for that bonnet sloping off towards the rear. And then they sort of get their medium on the long end, on the tool side, and then put their fist on top to get the height.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was not that.
Yeah, I wish I just ran my bipod at my normal height and it would have been perfect.
Right, and speaking of tack table rear, you apparently made an unsuccessful appearance.
Oh, yeah, this is day 2 we're dipping our toes into now.
We just
So that was the
about-
video that Sean was kind enough to send through.
Oh,
Did
sorry,
you see
but
that?
before we get on to day 2,
Did you see where I was sitting at the end of day 1?
I did not.
At
They
the
didn't
pub
release the
or-
scores.
There wasn't scores out.
Yeah, there's no scores after day 1.
They went.
But-
The scores didn't release. I didn't see them. I never knew where I sat on Saturday night.
Ah, I was sitting second.
Well,
Behind
I obviously wasn't first because that was Collie.
You were second.
I was
So you
second.
choked.
I choked, and you know why? Because Collie came up to me and he's like, "Yeah, boy, let's do this. You know, you and me, 1 and 2." And I'm like, "Oh, don't tell me. Don't get in my head."
Good. Okay, good.
So, yeah. Thanks,
so
Collie.
On to day 2, tack table rear made an unsuccessful appearance.
Yeah, there was a tractor. And speaking of wobbly barricades, they drove a tractor in. They had a like a lifting bar at the back on the 3-point linkage.
Mm.
And as it was driving down the road, this bar on the back, which is going to be really good for all the people playing at home, was just like slopping like a meter side to side. And they're like,
Okay.
really hope you don't have to shoot off of that. And they pulled it up, put the bar down flat, and we're like, uh-oh. And Lucas came up and he's like, ooh, nope. And then like 18 star pickets later, it was solid enough to shoot off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good. And
I think-
and didn't work for you.
Well, yeah, so tack table rear is really good when the ground's level.
Mm.
The ground was not level, as it turns out.
Tack table rear just seems really good for everybody except for you.
Yeah.
It didn't. So, well, I mean, okay. so we got the tape measure out and we measured and we split the difference between the two heights. I'm like, this is going to be great.
Wait, you
And then-
tape measured it.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it. Clearly, because it works so well for me.
Yes.
And then
Great
Sean,
advice,
Sean
everyone.
walked up and he's just camera in my face. He's like, I heard tack table rear goes really well for you. I'm like, yeah, it does. Thank you. I'm set for this one.
Yeah.
And then put my tack table rear down. And I
Thanks,
was
Sean.
like,
That video is going to be great.
I was looking into the ground about 4 meters in front of the 4 meters in front of the track. I'm like, oh. And I was like, okay, we got this. It's okay, there's plenty of time. So I'm like, I took my rear bag off and put it down. I'm like, I'll just shoot off the tack table. And I was like, nope, that's not going to work. So then I adjusted the legs and then I adjusted the tack table to put some angle in it.
Yep.
And then eventually found a happy place and went 2 for 2 and then moved to the next place. I'm like, well, that's not going to work, and changed everything and got another 2 shots. And then luckily I think I threw the tack table to the next paddock. And then my front bag wouldn't come off, the rail bag. And I was like, well, I guess we're shooting the rest of the stage with that on there. They got stuck. And I did all right. And then I got, I'd gone 10 from 10, which is okay because I was motoring at this point because I knew I'd wasted about 6 minutes trying to work out how tack table
Gotcha.
really worked.
You decided to get all nosky on it.
Yep, basically. And then got to the last 2 positions and it was a big target, little target, and you had to hit the big target 2 times and then hit the little target 1 time.
Right.
And I hit the big target first time, almost had another bullet in the air because I was running short on time.
Yep.
Hit that, went into the little one, hit that, and then got up and the stage officer was like, oh, you missed the second last shot. I was like, no, did not. And he's like, yeah, I watched the trace. And he was like, it was above the target. I'm like, yep, that's exactly what happens.
Yep.
And then it goes down and falls into the target and looked at the peanut gallery. I'm like, did anybody else look? And they're just like, nobody was on glass. Sorry, plushie. I'm like, what do I do? You've got me saying I hit and the spotter saying I didn't. So I accepted my score. I'm like,
Yep.
as you do. So I dropped 2 points. So I completely clustered tack table rear.
Yep.
But
You made it work.
got 10 out of 12, which actually wasn't a bad score on that stage.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I have a follow-up question for the people online that don't know what tack table rear is. Can you explain what that is?
I still
Take your
don't- I
pants
still
off
don't
and
know
show
what
'em.
it is and how
Take
to
your
do
Okay,
it.
cool.
Yeah.
Take your pants off and
entirely
show 'em, mate.
Yeah. It's this thing that apparently makes shooting really easy, but I haven't worked out how it works yet.
So it's when you run a tripod at the back and you have like these little table-y type things that go onto the tripod. We haven't got one here, have we?
No.
Imagine like how big's that, Andy? You're an electrician. You should know sizes.
Is that like a matchbook size?
130
Yeah,
by 15.
like a matchbook size metal, and then on top of that you could put a bag or something on those lines, and that's the tack table. Really good for holding chips and dip, as we found out in Darwin, right
Very, very good for holding chips and dip.
Oh,
Actually,
absolutely.
that's what they should be exclusively used for.
Agreed.
We have one viewer. He was kind enough to send us the overnight results.
Oh, how good.
there you
I was
go.
in fourth behind Mitchell Hogan.
You're in fourth.
And Andy was second.
Oh, so
How
you're
good.
telling the truth, Andy.
He was, yeah.
How good.
There you go. Thank you, one listener.
Thank you.
Way to choke. All right.
I thought I was pretty good at it, but you're starting to get good at it too.
At least I swallowed.
Up
That's
to
why
it.
Collie was looking so happy on
Righto.
Saturday.
I also use tack table rear. I think that
On that
those
stage?
those
Oh, wow.
two
Tripod rear was
positions.
the way to do that one.
Yeah, those two positions. I think you had to either have tripod rear, either using the leg or tack table.
Mhm.
I don't think I saw anyone
almost-
just like one bag it.
Yeah,
Maybe
they did, and
they
did okay. I've almost been scared to use tripod rear this year because we haven't been. We sort of, well, you and I both said the same thing, that we're not going to use tripod rear.
Yep.
So because when we get to the States, there's so much angle and pan that it'll take all of your time to use tripod rear. So we sort of set ourselves the goal not to use it unless it makes absolute sense to use it. And I haven't practiced it at all this year. And I was like, oh, maybe it could be wobbly. What if I miss? So I decided to use tack table rear and spend the whole stage adjusting it.
Perfect.
Mine
Sounds
went
good.
reasonably well because Collie shot before me and he came back and said, "Oh, I think it needs to be a little bit there."
Gotcha.
Perfect.
Fixed it, and you still didn't stay second.
Right. So Collie was feeding you win calls and stage advice all weekend, and you still didn't do it. Oh my gosh.
Gotcha. Any more notes before we get on to Sunday afternoon? Or
I'm sure there are.
because I know you had some overall stuff, but we don't want to get into that yet.
Where are we going?
Oh,
Saturday.
This is where I
That's
was.
Saturday.
Isn't it great that Rusty didn't write the notes, but he's also knowing where everything is in the notes?
Skull drag by the Kiwi.
Is there an order to these notes? Doesn't seem like
yeah,
it.
they're all
There is.
on the page.
All the notes are in there.
Alphabetical. Just
Just notes yeeted in there.
Andy.
This should have been the pre-show prep that we did that we don't do.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
What?
Yeah. Espresso martinis. That was great. Andy returned to 6th place.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
some clapping. Yeah.
Well
Yeah,
done.
thank you.
Well done.
In my rightful
Rightful
spot,
place.
I've gone from 15th 3 times to now 6th where I usually sit, which then puts me 15th in the series.
Plushy, you cleaned the last stage with a square target into a diamond target.
That's right. You didn't want to.
Yeah, that was yeah. So I was I was last shooter for the day
Mm.
on my squad, and then the second last shooter, I forget who it was, shot the bolt out of the square target and turned it into a diamond target.
Right.
And Lucas come in, he's like, oh, do you want me to fix it? I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe that'd be great. And he's like, yeah, cool, no worries. And then I sat there for a minute. I'm like, why? No, like you don't need this to be fixed. And I was like, my gun's been waterlining great all day. I was like, a diamond target's actually wider than a square target if your gun's waterlining well.
Yep.
So I said, hey, Lucas. And he's like, yeah, man. I'm like, I'll just shoot it. And he's like, you don't have to. There's no pressure. It's fine. Like, we'll shut the range. I'm like, no, you know what? I'm just going to shoot it and I'm going to clean it and it's going to be fine. And he's like,
Because the wind, you were worried the wind was going to.
I said to him,
yeah.
he's like, I'm confident I know what the wind's doing now, but in 20 minutes after you shut the range, if it changes, I could drop a couple of shots
Yeah,
and
that's
start
true.
figuring out what it's doing.
Yep.
He's like, okay. And then I jumped down and then center punched the first one, center punched the second one, and out the corner of my eye, I just saw Lucas walking away. And he's like, he's got this. So yeah, I cleaned the last stage of the day, which was good.
Well done.
And I dropped the next 8 shots. Yeah.
I was waiting for the end of that story. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, he came up later and he's like, I'm impressed. He's like, he's like, I didn't know that you were going to do it, and then you did it. He's like, okay, he's going to take this on. And he's like, I watched you through the binos for the first couple. He's like, they were in the middle. And he's
the
like,
middle.
he's got this fine.
So it should have just been circle target and you should be,
Exactly,
you'd be all right.
yeah.
Yeah. Nice, mate. Nice. So distance-wise, because it's not in the notes I can see.
275 to 992, I reckon.
No, but afterwards, you told me you shot further.
Oh, we shot to a mile. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
after the match.
We didn't do it on Friday at all.
Oh, I tried to on Friday. I think I sent like 3 rounds at it. Couldn't see where they were going. I thought,
I noticed how you talked up Friday was the best day of your life, but you neglected to talk about missing targets at a mile.
Well, it's because I was prone and the mirage was real bad, and I sent a couple of shots, and I'm like, I have no idea where they went. I'm going to need someone else on a decent spotter to help.
Oh, see, I've got decent glass on my gun, so I had a completely different experience.
Oh,
Whew, so if you guys are wondering who Plushy was going to offend tonight,
Andy,
it was Andy.
you see the glass that you can see in the foreground and the glass you can't see in the background? The one in the foreground is the one that you need.
This
let
one's
me
out.
just cut the
that's
camera
out of
angle so
focus.
it's not in there. Yeah, the one that's out of focus in the foreground.
If it's got
Got
a
it.
ZCO on the side, it'll be fine.
Cool. All
No,
right.
so I took a shot at a mile. I didn't take a shot at a mile,
can-
actually, on Friday.
Take it up with Collie.
All right, on to Sunday.
And then,
on to Sunday,
And
and
then-
when you actually tried to shoot a mile, how'd you go?
I took me 5 shots to get on.
Yeah. You know what happened with the good glass?
What?
2 shots.
2 shots.
Got lucky.
Yeah.
Did you hit the little plate next to it?
No, I didn't because everyone was rushing me. I sent like an extra 3 rounds at the little one. I was like,
Yeah, good. I only sent 1 round at the little one because I only had 1 round left. I missed it by about that much.
Yeah.
Did not get it.
Yeah. No, it was a pretty cool experience just seeing that 3.5, almost 4 second flight time in the projectile.
It was not that long.
No?
It wasn't. It was more like 1.5 to 2 seconds. But yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. It might seem that long.
You just crushed his dreams. He thought he was a second.
He's running in Canadian time, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit shorter, but it's also quite sticky.
Brain speed,
It's the stickiness. It takes some time to kick in.
Yeah, got it.
Anyway.
It actually could have been that. But anyway, no. No, because your bullet goes at like 3,000 feet per second, which is close enough to 900 meters per second.
2,800.
So, and then
But
it slows
it
down.
slows down.
It does slow down, but it doesn't slow down to take 4 seconds.
I said 3.5 to 4 seconds.
If it was over,
Noski's bullet,
2 seconds, 2.5 seconds, I'll be very surprised.
Noski's bullet would have been probably 5 seconds.
So how was this is on the Friday and the Sunday. It was an
Sunday.
opportunity to go and have a crack.
There was no opportunity on the Friday.
on the Friday and on the Sunday to have a
no
crack.
opportunity on the Friday.
But there was none.
We did not shoot at the mile target on the Friday.
Understood.
Never happened.
On Sunday,
Yes.
there was an opportunity after the match to have a crack at the mile. Did most people have a go?
Not most people, but a few people did.
Oh, Plushy.
3.7.
No, don't. Okay, all right. I was going to build it up, but anyway, you've just ruined it.
That's
Andy is glad to announce he lasted 3.7 seconds on those targets.
I did have a.
Oh, hang on. Wait, is that 1,600 meters? Oh, so I thought you said you shot a mile.
16, 15.
Not just
I think
short.
Is what it was.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well, then it's a longer time, isn't it?
it is. It is.
So, da.
3.3 seconds. I humbly apologise. That's all right. Humbly apologise. Well, that's how long my bullets took to get there.
Gotcha.
Oh, good. But yeah, no, that was really cool. I shot it. I think I was the last person to shoot at it. I think because I was stuffing
Didn't you
around.
just say people were pushing you to shoot?
Yeah, because I was the last
Complete
shooter.
lies.
Everyone was. Everyone was
to close the range. All right.
waiting to close the range because I was just, I was with other people hanging out. They were all, having a good.
Talking about not coming second. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're just trying to sell more gear to people.
Got it.
I found my gun up doing demos at one point. I didn't even know that it was out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there were quite a few new shooters there or people wanting to upgrade and get into the sport. So we're going through all the options and.
We had a guy rock up on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
He came with a 300 PRC.
Yes.
Sick.
Yes.
Steve,
yeah.
Would have been good at the mile.
Yeah.
Steve had a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big learning experience.
Yes.
Yeah. He was a champ. I spent a bit of time with him on the Friday.
Yeah, right. Shout out to Steve.
He's going to buy one of these in front of you here, I think, is what he'll buy.
A blurry gun.
A blurry gun. It's not blurry, Josh. I need to fix that.
It's blurry.
Can you make it unblurry?
No, because then we'd be
No.
blurry. Oh, wait, actually, fair point. Yeah.
Yeah. That's much prettier.
Everyone may vote for that. That's all right.
But yeah, so he came in, didn't have a whole lot of, he had a Kestrel, but not a whole lot of confirmed data, so we set that up for him. It didn't take too long. He had a couple of shots off the barricade, sort of got the gist of movement and trying to spot your shots and things like that.
Yep.
I wasn't in his squad. I sort of left him.
I'm not sure. He
left
wasn't
him
in
to
mine
it.
either. I sort of had
But,
kept an eye out, but he was
Yeah,
elsewhere.
yeah.
All right, pull your notes up again.
Rusty's
Notes up
bored.
again.
But yeah, he's
Shout out to Steve. Good job, Steve. It's
Yeah,
always
I
good
think
to
he's-
see
Good
new
work for
shooters
coming
out
out
there.
and shooting factory ammo in your 300 PRC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh is
I
trying to
pressed the wrong button.
just trying to push it on.
I was going for that one.
All right, gentlemen, you've got a whole stack of notes here for your overall. So,
I can't remember them.
top 3 overall, Plushie. Give us
Be-
some 3 thoughts.
You needed to be bold with your win calls.
Oh, yeah, I said that before.
That was, yeah. No, that was probably the big one. If you're like, nah, I think it's this, you just like be brave.
Okay.
Send it.
Is this all
Andy,
the stuff
what's-
you wrote while I was driving?
What's your
Did you not read it?
what's your
No.
overall? Give us an overall from the match. One out of 3.
Yeah, going along those bolder win
I
calls,
just copy Plushie then. Yeah.
but bolder corrections. So I dropped.
Isn't that
Don't just measure
pretty
your
much the
corrections. That's
same
way
thing?
easier.
Well, I did that and I didn't make a big enough correction. So
so you
anyway,
didn't measure them very well.
no, I didn't.
Is your
obviously.
reticle not
Good thing you're a
correct in your
Sparky,
scope?
not a
You're using a
Chippy.
second focal plane scope.
Oh, maybe.
That could be it.
All right, what do we got here? Mirage. You've written Mirage, learning to take away.
Oh, yeah. There was a good one. So a lot of the targets were pre-hung, the range targets.
Yep.
And they use bigger calibers there, I suspect, given the distance. So they had
Steve would have been in his element.
he would have, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So they were hung relatively short.
Yep.
On the straps, and they had secondary
Josh is making eyes
indicators,
when you said hung relatively short.
and then
Started looking
with
around the
straps,
room.
and then he got excited.
Good. All right.
And so a lot of the primary spotting became whether the heat indicator was going off, rather than
Glad
watching.
you changed that. Yep.
Impact. So yeah, a lot of people were relying on the heat indicator going off rather than the plate swinging.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a takeaway. Given always more time in lead up to a match, it would have been absolutely different. But
Sure. Yeah.
you land where you land. So that was like a takeaway where, for me, I think having the slightly heavier projectiles was really good because I got the plate read a little bit further out than what everyone with the 6 mils were getting, so it made my life a little bit easier, I think.
Mm-hmm. Andy, takeaway for you or?
Yeah, I think like what I said before, that just mental sort of feeling relaxed and good vibes and
Countdown in your ears. Yep.
Yeah, yep. Countdown in my ears.
You're going to put a little phone holder on the side of your gun and watch How to Train Your Dragon while you shoot.
We could work something out.
Righto.
Well-
we should put a compilation together of all the times that you've said, yeah, why not just relax at the end of the match? I do really well. I
Yeah.
reckon there's about a dozen podcasts.
Yeah.
Well,
in
how
there.
many matches has he shot and talked about it? It's
Yeah.
all of those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we've got speaking of matches, we've got a match coming up.
We do.
This is the second.
No, wait.
Oh, wait.
Wait.
No one cares. Move on.
I got another.
Cut the camera angle, not to Plushy.
I got another first Aussie trophy.
Still not in the shot.
Blurry now.
Because it turns out Collie skull dragged us,
Yep.
and so my first Aussie trophy is going to get hung
Yeah,
proudly.
you
on my
got a
wall.
few
I've
first.
got a few of those now.
First Aussies. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Shame
One
it
of
couldn't
them.
come first overall.
One of them actually earned. Yeah. He's won more matches than you have.
That's fine. Not overall, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tassie.
That's fine. Haven't shot PRS.
He's won more matches than I have.
Oh, all right.
I think all right. Anyway, let's get on. We need some predictions for the second Monado match, Monado Uni or
Now that
whatever
we
it's
have a
called.
list, this is going to be.
Yeah.
And
this
so
is
we
much-
got,
this
we
is much
did have a list of shooters.
I'll go off this one.
right.
Just go off that one. That's fine. There you go. So, Josh, have you got a list? Do you need a list? Do you want to?
I looked at it before and I can't remember names.
Okay, great. Let's start with you, Plushy. Who are you throwing in first? First position.
First position. Blackman's in kind of like good form, but he is shooting his 308 in brackets allegedly.
He is.
So you're out. Sorry, buddy.
Okay.
Oh,
I reckon Mr. Anthony Colley will do well. He's making his first appearance in Monado.
Okay.
I reckon he'll do all right.
Right.
I reckon Mr. Guy Jackson is due. Home match. He'll do all right. And then I also think Lucas, he won the match at the start of the year.
And so that's in order. That's in your
shit,
order.
in order.
Collie. Well, yeah, that's the way you've said it. So that's the way they're in order. Who's your wild card?
Um,
In case one of those guys don't rock up.
hang on.
And you better be
Wait,
watching
wait.
because you're next up, mate.
Oh, all right. Tick tock, tick tock. 5,
4, 3,
2, 1.
1.
Are you going to do? Is it going to
Doesn't
be
that
your
help?
own voice?
Mr. Joel Rinaldi, please.
Joel.
Please,
All right,
Joel. Come
you're
on,
the
help
wild
me out.
card. Excellent.
Come on.
Pass that
Yeah,
over.
I'll
To,
pass it over.
pass it over to Josh.
All
All
right.
right, Andy.
I think Guy Jackson.
Guy in first.
Yep.
Righto.
Plushie in second again.
Plush dog in
Thanks, buddy.
second.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Yeah. First Aussie. Oh wait, no. Guy's
No.
Aussie.
Yeah.
First South, nope. first Mount Barkerian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
First Ginger.
And then
If he doesn't have his beard on, I can probably claim that. If he's got the beard on, it's questionable.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's close.
then I think it'll be Collie.
Collie.
Yep.
Third.
Yep.
Yep.
And then Luke.
Oh,
Luke is your wild card.
it depends, because if it's going to be Miraji, that's going to be different for him.
Josh.
We'll see.
Put me as 6th.
That's always a given, isn't it?
It's a pretty solid bet. Or 15.
Or 15. Josh, who have you got there?
I'm going to go Collie.
Collie for the
first.
win.
I'm going to go Blackburn. Michael Blackburn
In second.
in second.
Okay, with the 308. Yep.
Oh, wait, no, I've just seen that. I'll go Luke McKinney instead.
Okay.
Sorry, Michael.
Burn.
No, with the
Bring your
308.
6 mil, buddy.
In
You've
third.
got faith.
I'll go Plushie for third.
Who is this guy? All right.
You know, Hennessy might do well
And
with
you're-
his 22.
If his name
Wild
was on the
card.
Oh, is it?
list, if his name was on the list, he may do
Yeah.
very well.
Oh,
I'm going to go Jackson for the
Okay.
wild card.
Guy for the wild card.
no show.
Righto. And for myself, I am going to give tips to. Has anyone picked Lucas for the win? No, I'm going to go Lucas for the win. Let's throw that in there. I can't. I don't want to go there. All the same guys you've gone. So I'm going to go for Michael Blackburn in second, even with a 308. I think he's going to teach Plushie how to shoot. And I think I'm going to throw. Has Plushie been in third for anyone's list? Oh, he has been. He hasn't been in first.
Put me in the wild card.
Oh, yeah, I take
Give
it
me
back.
the wild
Plushie in first.
Oh no!
All right, Plushie in first. Lucas second.
As
Michael
long as I'm not
Blackburn
first
third.
overnight, I'll be fine.
And I'm
a thing.
backing my man
It's definitely
here.
a thing.
I'm backing my guy Phil Lou for the wild
I would
card.
much rather be
Phil Lou.
in like 6th
Oh,
on
and
the end of day 1.
And-
Second is okay by like a point. That's
Andy, I'm putting you in 15th.
Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Very good.
Can we create a special category for placing 15th and 6th, and we'll just work out.
Hey, mind you, 15th 3 times in a row. Come on. That's,
It's like 45th position. Yeah. All right, sweet. Anything else we need to talk about, gentlemen? Anything to no, we'll get an update on the US next time because we'll probably need to do one more of these before you guys bugger off.
Let me check my
And
notes.
then hopefully we're just going to do a whole bunch of talking in cars.
Yeah, you guys are going to do some podcasts while you're there?
We're going to do kilometres to matches.
Yeah. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Does that take longer? No, it'd be quicker, wouldn't
no,
it?
it's quicker,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've got less stuff to talk about.
You know what we
I
should
don't know.
do?
I've heard you guys talk.
Kilometres to match is where we count down the Ks. And it's just 1.
No, that's not counting down. That would be counting up, wouldn't it?
Well, okay.
Are you
Well,
reversing to the matches?
We're going to have to practice this first before we start talking about it, Andy.
we count the
I'm
Ks.
looking
gets
forward
the
to his
premise wrong.
countdown kicking his ears when it's like 1 and then time out.
We can have notes, but he might get car sick in the car because he has to sit there reading them the entire time.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. That's
How
enough
good.
of this
Thanks
rubbish.
for listening. I don't know why
Yeah.
you do that.
I'm sure you've got better things to do.
Yep, go and do those things like watch How to Train a Dragon. Yeah, it's good. Go check it out.